Heading to the States. This is the Outside Gate with Steve Hall on the L4 Media Network, where we talk US moto and anywhere the conversation goes. And today we're talking, kind of talking US moto, but we'll also talk a bit of Aussie stuff because we have a young Aussie who's gearing up for a great opportunity in the old US of A. Kayden Minear, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself? Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Hey, how bad's that? I was just telling Kayden Minear, not Minear, how I would probably get his name wrong because the Aussie commentators have been getting it wrong for years, and then on his introduction I get it wrong. How about that? Unbelievable. But anyway, we're not gonna do that again. I leave my mistakes in here. So,
Yeah,
Kayden Minear, how are so, dude? Excited, man. You got to be just pumped.
yeah, I'm stoked. The opportunity I've been given is once in a lifetime, so I'm gonna grab it with both hands and give it the best shot can.
Yeah. So our mutual friend DB, he let the cat out of the bag first, I think, when he did that video walking through KTM, and he was like pointing at a 250 there, and he mentioned your name on the gram, and well, I remember that's the first I heard of it, and I thought, oh, look out,
Yeah,
Caden's heading
yeah,
back over.
definitely. I kept it pretty under wraps for a while. I think I was gonna release it officially at the end of our season when I go over. So yeah, definitely. It's an exciting opportunity I've been given to get some bikes over there, get some good engines. Daniel's helping me out a lot, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's the way, man. That's the way. So the plan is to be there for Ironman, is that right? Right. So for
Yeah,
your
yeah,
first race, there'll be Ironman.
yeah. I'll do Ironman. Then we'll do a bit of training in California, and then I'll also do the Las Vegas Super Motocross Showdown.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
Nice, yeah. Hey? That, yeah, perfect, man. It's a couple of good ones there, yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
man. So
No, it's gonna be
whereabouts
big.
whereabouts are you going to train in California?
I'm not too sure yet. Uh, the whole thing's kind of just go with the flow. I know I'm gonna train in North Carolina, South North, whichever Carolina, one of them. Before I go up to Ironman, and then we're gonna come back, get a little bit into Supercross before we head over to Cali.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. And so, dude, how old are you now?
I just turned 17 in May.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, man. Because
Yeah,
like you come on the scene like I guess just I have a lot of US listeners and who won't know you, but so this young fellow he come on the scene I guess on the national scene, sort of burst onto it in our MX3 class. And our MX3 class is it's a mixture of sort of old juniors and young seniors, I guess. So it's basically 14-year-olds through to 18-year-olds. Is that right? I
yeah,
think.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
Yeah,
about that. Yeah,
yeah,
and you won that class as a 15-year-old, if I'm right. Yeah. So or you were
yeah,
15 at
yeah.
the start of that season, and you won that class.
No, I was
So
14 at the start of the season. Yeah, and then
okay, there
finished
you
at
go.
15. Yeah, I
And
went.
you won that class, and
Yeah,
it's a great class, and it's great racing. Honestly, a lot of rounds of the Aussies, it's the best races to watch. I reckon it's because it
definitely, it's an
just
exciting class. That's for sure.
it is, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome, yeah. And then you moved up to MX2, and yeah, how many podiums in MX2 now, man?
Um, three now. So I had one last year as a 15-year-old in the MX2 class. And then this year, I've had two this season so far. Hopefully, we can get some more at these last couple rounds.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. It's cool to see, man. Cool to see. My first my first I guess memory of you that or something that always sticks is so I don't know, you might have seen my face around that. I was helping out the Moto Limited guys
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
a bit there, and I was helping out Trent and that sort of thing, and Trent interviewed you after you won that MX3 race, and you were talking about how you were it was like the win was that easy. You were just out there like singing to yourself, and
Yeah, yeah,
that was so funny, man. It was just like, and Trent, I think Trent asked you like, what were you singing, and you're trying to remember what song you were singing. You were just like,
yeah,
it was just like an easy win. I was just cutting laps and I was singing, and like it was,
yeah. That's definitely when I ride the best, when I'm relaxed.
yeah, man, yeah, no, that was, yeah, that was really cool, man. So yeah, Kayden burst onto the scene then, and it's just gone from strength to strength, man. So, um, dude, what we might get into is I love to dig into people's like junior days right from the start, man. So,
Yeah.
dude, tell us about that first mini bike, or that or the question I always ask is, when did the bug bite, man? When did that motorcycle bug bite?
Oh, well, I'm the youngest of. I've got two older brothers, so my two older brothers ride. Well, did ride, and I kind of just, as the youngest brother, always want to chase the bigger brothers. So Um, yeah, they had bikes and I got into it, and I wasn't really into it. I played a lot of other sports when I was younger. I was kind of that kid who done everything as a sport. So, and then my middle brother Jordan, he quite loved racing, and he nagged dad and mum to take us back down to the track, and I kind of just got into it and found something I was really good at, and I stuck to it, and now here we are.
That's the way, man. And yeah, so you grew up in Western Australia, man. So for those that are listening or watching that aren't Aussies, so Western Australia, it's almost like another country, isn't it, man? Like
Yeah, definitely.
Australia's a big place, and there's not
Yeah,
much between, So I guess if you're from another country and you're interested, sort of, most of the population's down the east coast, and it sort of curves around to Adelaide, and then from Adelaide to Perth, there's not much in between. So then
nah,
it's
there's
like,
nothing.
yeah,
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 just desert.
yeah, man. So and a lot of sand tracks over there. So that's usually where the hardcore sand riders come from, like yourself.
Yeah,
And
definitely. I think
yeah,
yeah, there's not much other than sand in WA. There's a couple hard pack tracks up in the hills, but other than that, there's not much hard pack. So I live and breathe the sand. So yeah,
mm, yeah. You and I mean, there's a long list of you know WA guys
yeah, definitely.
doing well. I guess for the older listeners, Jeff Leask is probably the most the biggest name to come out of the West, I guess.
Yeah,
Kyle Webster is a Western Australian, and
yeah.
yeah,
Top
so
10 at Southwick on the weekend. That was
that's
made
right,
to
man.
watch. Yeah,
It's a shame, man, that he didn't. Yeah, he didn't get a good. I mean, I'm not even sure if he got a good start, but
yeah,
he had
definitely. It was unfortunate for
he had
him
a
to go
tip
down in
over
the
at
first corner.
tip over in the first corner, and all got cleaned out or whatever. And but
Yeah,
man, I was watching it. Like he was coming through, man. Like
yeah,
every time, how the scoring sort of rotates.
yeah,
Every time it rotated, he was up another one or two positions. So
yeah.
he was passing people as quick as
Yeah,
Tommy could keep up.
he's definitely a workhorse. He's definitely got the fitness. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's right, man. Absolutely. So yeah, dude, that first mini bike, man. What was it?
I think I started out on a PW50 and went to some old KTM 50 that my older brother had, and then I remember my first bike I really loved was Dad bought this some bunky KTM 50 demo. Um, I don't remember much of it. He bought it not running. He fixed it up, and I just remember always having grey grips on it. So forever, that was always my favourite bike for so long. And then I kind of stepped up onto a 50, 65, and my junior career was unreal. I look back on it now and go, wow, I don't realise how good it really was. But yeah, I think I got 9 junior Aussie championships as a junior. So then obviously I got my MX3 championship. So yeah, my junior career was unreal, and hopefully we can get more senior championships as well.
Oh, you will do, man. You will do. Yeah. That I mean, there's a choice too, man, with your sight set on the states, man, where that's so much harder to get a title. or stay in Oz and rack up titles. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
a choice that a lot of dudes have had to make over the years, isn't it? Be a podium guy, race winner in Australia, or go over and like fight like hell in the States or in Europe to
Yeah,
get to
definitely.
that stage there too.
I've always been that person that loves chasing something. I mean, I think that's really why I stepped up into the MX2 class as a 15-year-old. Like, it's unheard of. I think I was the first 15-year-old to sign a factory deal, so that was a really cool accomplishment. But I'm always chasing something bigger and better, and I feel like that's how I keep myself improving each year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you. When was your first podium? Was really quick too, wasn't it? In MX2.
Yeah, well, it was actually a mud round at Wodonga. Yeah, I think it was third round, I think it was.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, yeah. I would.
Yeah,
I remember it.
yeah,
I remember it well. That I remember that
yeah,
round well, man. That was
yeah,
nasty.
yeah.
That was nasty, man. I got a lot of. I'd have. Yeah, we'd have some good photos of you from that round. We
Oh
took a lot
yeah,
of photos and that
I've
there.
like even on my laptop that I'm on now, my front cover's just me as like a mud ball at Wodonga. So there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
forgetting that race, that's for sure.
yeah. That was crazy, man. I remember. Me and my daughter got there on at some stage on Saturday or whatever. And I think I was went and picked up Trent from the airport or something. I can't remember exactly,
Yeah,
and it was just like they were just pushing slop off the start straight.
yeah. There
It
was like
was
walls on either side of the start
yeah,
straight that all the
yeah,
dirt they've pushed off.
it was just a disaster, wasn't it, man? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was crazy, man. Yeah,
yeah.
unreal, dude. And tell us about Estonia, man. So
Estonia, poor.
that's the
That's a
biggest thing out of your junior career for sure, man.
Yeah, that was a long time ago now, 2017. I was so young, so my memory is not very good, but I remember that place like rolling up, and like the best way to explain it, it was like a Formula One track. Grass around all the outside of the track, the inside. And I remember just having a blast there. I had no expectation. I was so young, and I kind of just went out there and just gave it everything. And I remember coming back in, not knowing what I come. Dad's in there crying. I'm like, "Why are you crying? Oh, you got third." I was like, "Oh, awesome!" But we had to deal with that. He had to get me an ice cream if I got on the podium, so I made sure to get that ice cream.
Hey, third in the world on a 65. Third in the world. Yeah, you definitely deserved an ice cream, man, for that.
Yeah.
Who else was there, man? So was
Some of the
was
names now that are still
was
around are kind of
Bailey
Ivan. Yeah, Bailey was there.
was on a 125 or something? Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mason Simmons.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Um, Alex Larwood. I can't think of the other ones, but yeah, like even like the people I was racing, like we got Ivano Van Eert, which is a MXGP Yamaha rider now. So definitely there was some good riders in that class.
It's actually really interesting, man. When you look back, I was looking back at when they did Worlds at Horsham. I was looking back at those old results because I was writing an article and just doing research. It's like, wow, some of the kids that were there
Yeah, Liam
racing and
Everts.
they're in like
Yeah,
Bailey won the title there, and he
yeah,
was battling Guadagnini, and I was
Guadagnini.
like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
and you think I would never
yeah,
have because back then you would have heard that Bailey won, and you wouldn't even known or cared what
yeah.
this foreign name of this other kid
Definitely.
was.
Yeah.
But then you look back and you're like, wow, that's this kid's now he's
We
MX
even
GP guy, yeah.
You even look at like 85 class. Liam Everts was in it. Like that's crazy to look back and think that. And like even like people like Ryder D Francisco was there. All them. Like there were some big names that you never really paid attention to until now. You look back and go, wow.
Yeah, because you didn't know they were going to be a big name, I guess, because
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
bunch of kids from all over the world, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Estonia, man, what a weird country to, I know it's yeah, these countries like Estonia and Latvia and that sort of thing, they're obviously big motocross countries, which is, I mean, that's really cool, man. But
Yeah.
they, yeah, like as a kid, like it would have been just so weird going, like,
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was my first I think it was actually my first time out of Australia, and
mm,
just so we flew into Belgium, did a bit of riding. We even done some local races, which are crazy. I've got some crazy memories of people running across the track with dogs and stuff like that, me nearly hitting people on the backside of jumps, and they're just crazy over there. So, yeah, it was definitely a different world.
yeah. So local races in Belgium, did you? Is that what you
Yeah,
do?
yeah, and they're just like it was like almost a grass track, and the track's just lined by wood pickets. Like, if you crash, you're probably gonna get staked by one, but they don't care.
Yeah, real, real old school European tracks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the way, man. That's the
yeah.
way. Yeah, cool, man. And yeah, did it sink in that you were representing Australia when you were like, how old were you then? Like,
Oh, I was 2017. I was maybe 9, 8 or 9.
yeah, did it
Yeah,
sink
so
in, or was it just like this is cool? We're racing big
nah,
bike,
to be
like,
honest, like, none of them really sunk in and until probably 2022 when I did my last one in Finland. I was kinda
yeah,
like, "Wow, this is pretty cool," like, to be picked out of I don't know, there's 2 in each class out of the whole of Australia to represent your country is definitely an
mm,
awesome feeling.
yeah, man, yeah. So how many times did you get on that team then?
Oh, to be honest, I'm a bit scarred from it. I definitely thrown away a couple world championships, but, I think I got on there so we had, Estonia, Horsham, Italy, Finland? So 4 times, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. So 3 times
Yeah,
out of the country.
yeah.
What was it like, man, at what was it like at school, man? Like, like, how long did you go through normal school? And what was
Um,
it like? Did the kids at school, like, understand what you were doing and how cool it was?
nah, not really. Nobody really understand until like I had a couple close mates that rode bikes as well, which understood, but the teachers, the students didn't really understand it. They didn't know why I was always away from school. But I went to through normal school until year 7, and then I done homeschooling until I finished year 10.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool, man.
yeah,
That's all right, yeah. It's a funny thing, man, 'cause, like, a lot of people that I've talked to and they're like, there's a really, really good example. Who was that? Oh, it was Damon Huffman was a really good example where because he was a pretty shy kid,
yeah,
and he won. So he went to school like somewhere near Anaheim, and he
yeah,
won he won Anaheim Supercross,
yeah.
and then
Right.
rocked up to school on Monday, and his teacher was in the crowd, and his teacher was like, "Oh well," and there was kids who were in the crowd and that, and all of a sudden people sort of knew him, and he was like, "Oh, still
Yeah,
all shy
yeah,
and that," like, and he won the
yeah,
125s race at Anaheim, yeah, so. It's amazing thing, it's same all over the world. I think everybody knows the football stars, but
yeah.
not
Definitely,
the.
it's all the mainstream sports, I guess you'd call them.
But you played some mainstream sports. You said, man, what did you do? What did you play?
Yeah, so as a young kid, I played a bit of footy. Obviously, my whole family was into cricket. My dad was a big cricket player. My godfather's obviously one of Australia's greatest bowlers. So that's kind of the path that my whole family went into, and
Dude,
now
I'm sorry,
now I'm
I'm
in a
not
totally
across.
different
Who's your
sport.
godfather, man? I'm not
Is
across. I'm not
Mitchell
across that.
Johnson? Mitchell Johnson.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I didn't
yeah,
know that, man.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
so yeah,
That's
it's
really
actually a
cool, man.
funny story. My dad was the one that actually got him into cricket when they lived up in Townsville. So yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah. Oh, Jono, huh?
Yeah,
That's a go. That's what you got to do. You got to get the Jono moustache going, man. That's it.
yeah, I know. I'm starting to grow it out now.
That's it. That was one of the best.
Yeah,
One of the not like my scruffy job. Jono's moustache. That was one of the best one
Yeah,
of the best that
definitely.
Australia's seen. That
It was a
was,
solid effort, that's for sure.
and it was also at the peak of his form too. That
Yeah,
summer was awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, that's cool, man. So you played a bit of cricket, man. Yeah,
Yeah, here and there. I'm more in school cricket. I was quite deep into, as funny as it sounds, I was into trampolining. It it's just something that challenged me in each sport. I kind of just hopped from each. Used to play up a year in footy with my brother. I think anything that really gave me a challenge, I really wanted to do until it kind of got boring and there wasn't really much else to learn. So I always just kept coming back to motocross because there's always something you can learn on a bike.
yeah, man. Now you're jumping the dirt bike instead of jumping on the trampoline, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Do your brothers still ride?
My middle brother, he rides here and there. He just really stopped riding last year. He's into his drift cars now. Obviously, he works a full time job, so it's hard to get out there training. And then my oldest brother, he had a couple unfortunate injuries. He's riddled with arthritis, so he can't do much these days. But he'll still jump on a bike if I give him one, and he'll have a crack. That's for sure.
That's it. What about dad? Does dad ride still?
Nah, Dad. So I could count on one hand how many times I've seen Dad ride a dirt bike. My family didn't really. My family wasn't from a racing background. Mum and Dad used to go out and ride in the dunes for fun as teenagers, but that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. That's the go. Ride the dunes, man.
yeah,
That sounds like good fun, man.
yeah. That's some of the best fun you can have on a bike is going and ride the dunes. Obviously, because WA is a pretty undeveloped state compared to over here.
Mm.
Got a lot more freedom to ride around where you want, so you can go riding in the dunes, and it's some good fun with all your mates, just ripping up the dunes.
I'll bet, man. Yeah. I've never been to WA, man. I've been to America, but I've never been to WA.
Oh, it's a
It's
place to go, I'm telling
it's
you.
crazy, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Like, yeah. It yeah, I don't know why. Like I don't know. Whenever I've been anywhere, it's sort of been for an event or a
yeah,
destination and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll get there. I'll get to Darwin next year for the
yeah,
that'll
yeah,
be cool, man. That'll
yeah,
be
definitely.
cool. Hey?
Yeah, yeah.
You'll be able to get in on that, I'd reckon.
Oh, hopefully I'm in America racing by next year, but if I'm not, who knows? I definitely I'll give it a crack. I know there's I know there's a few people from Australia going to China this year to race the MXGP, so that'll be interesting to watch as well.
That will be, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. Yeah. So America full time is the plan, man. Then.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm aiming for. That's what these kind of races at the end of this year is for, to put my name out there and show them what I'm made of. So hopefully that can line me up a deal for next year. But if not, I feel like I've got a lot of things I can still improve and work on being back in Australia. So I'm not really 100% phased, but that's definitely I'd want to be in America.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Your Supercross. I know. I remember. Hearing from DB about your Supercross training and all that, man. And then it was so bummed for you, man. Like,
Yeah.
um, first round. Like it was even like was it the first practice session or the first round?
No, so we got through the first practice session. I overshot a triple by miles and blew out my wheel, so I had to go change it. But and then it was actually in the qualifying session. I did one lap of qualifying. My time was actually really good. I would have had a very good gate pick for the main event, but next lap come around, there was a tough block on the track, and I've mistaken it for a downed rider. I thought it was a down bike on the track, so I've tried to wheelie it, and the rest is history. Really, I done a front flip and landed on my head with my arms out, and yeah, obviously snapped my humerus in half.
Had your arm backwards like a Lego man with his arm twisted around,
Yeah,
basically. Yeah,
it was definitely pretty it was pretty
nasty
gruesome when I
stuff.
had to, yeah, grab it out and pull it out from under me. So yeah.
Mm. Any lingering stuff from that, or is it all good now?
Ah, it's getting a lot better. I'd say it's probably at 95% now. over the last couple of weeks, I think I've finally become pain free with riding. I just get a couple side effects after riding, like just swelling up and just getting a little bit sore. But other than that, it's improving so much. Starting to be able to get some strength back into it. So that's definitely you can definitely see it in my riding. Over the last couple of rounds, my speed's gotten a lot back up to pace and back where I want to be. So yeah, these next rounds, we're gonna keep working. Obviously, I've been off the bike for the last week or so after a bit of a crash in Adelaide, but
A
I'm
bit,
feeling good
man.
now. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Dude,
So
that was
yeah,
wild, man. That was wild.
yeah,
That like
definitely. That was just a
um
yeah,
yeah, if anyone's watching or listening, yeah, look it up. Look it up. You'll find it easy. So yeah, um, just look up Kayden Minear Murray Bridge crash, and
yeah.
it'll
It's
come up pretty
definitely
easily. It was
definitely a
wild,
good
man.
video.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
dude, you landed hard. Like, dude, if you guys are so tough, man. Pro races are so tough. It's ridiculous, man. Like, I've hit the ground a lot in my life and got back up, man, but not that quick, man. Like, if I hit the ground that hard, man, like
Definitely
I'm
had some
laying there for
adrenaline going through me. That's for sure.
I'm laying there for a couple of laps, man. Like before I get up, man. Like
Oh,
they're gonna have a lot of yellow flags out because I'm only
oh,
getting
I
up
could.
that quick. You bounced up like a cat, man. It was actually reminded me of Deegan a few rounds back there where he just sort of hit the ground hard and then just sort of bounced up
Yeah.
and straight back on the bike. And yeah, man,
Every time I have a crash like that, I can just picture my mum screaming at me, "Get up, Kayden, come on!" So I'm just like, "All right, we're getting up."
that's it. No, good job,
Yeah.
mum. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. What's your pre-race like, man? Like, are you chill, quiet sort of thing? Breathing work, all that sort of thing, or are you like headphones,
No,
music, or
I'm more of like I just talk to everybody. I'm a chatter, so before my races, I'm just like in the truck talking to my family, talking to my friends. Obviously, I do my warm up. I got a punching ball that I punch on a string while I talk to everybody. So, yeah, I feel like if I'm relaxed and I'm not taking everything, I wouldn't say serious, but not kind of how people go to the line, not talk to anybody. I'm kind of that person that will walk along the start line, find somebody to talk to. So, I feel like when I'm relaxed, I ride my best. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a chatter.
yeah, man, yeah, that's the yeah. I can, yeah. It doesn't surprise me, man. I mean, I've only just met you tonight, but I mean, I might have. No, I don't think I used to do some interviews for Trent and that sort of thing. I don't think I've interviewed you before, but yeah, man, I've seen your personality around the pits and on the TV and all that, man. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised that you're a chatterbox, man. Yeah. Do you remember your first crash, man? Your first ever crash?
First crash. Um, to be honest, I don't crash that often, but when I do crash, they're pretty major. But probably the youngest crash I can remember was at my local track at Wanneroo. There's a bridge. There's like an under over bridge, and I remember it was just like a club run, I think it was, and I was just leading. Just started daydreaming a bit and got a bit squirrely. Hit a hay bale, went tumbling off the side of the bridge, so I dropped off like a two-story bridge, and that's probably the youngest memory I've got. But yeah, I just remember that day they cut my favourite jocks off, so I still don't
Oh,
think I've recovered from that.
dude, that's no good.
Yeah,
That's no good. Yeah, bloody hell. Were they lucky ones?
yeah, they were. They fluoro yellow. You could find me wherever I was.
They can't do that to you. They can't
Yeah,
do that, man. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, I would say have you got a like did you replace them? Have you got like lucky jocks now? Like
no, I've so obviously I'm sponsored by Rhino, an underwear company, so I've got millions sets of jocks. So
so they're
yeah,
all lucky,
definitely.
man. They're
Yeah,
all
they're all
lucky.
lucky. Yeah, yeah,
That's it. Yeah, yeah. What are they? Oh, rhino. What's it called again? Rhino skins. No.
yeah. Skins. Yeah,
Rhino skins, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I think that
yeah.
was. They were sponsoring Trent for
Yep,
at one
yeah,
stage. They were sponsoring Moto Limited.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah. I remember I think I was trying to get some free ones out of him. So
yeah.
yeah,
No, they're a real good company. I think they're local in. Actually, no, they're down in Sydney. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So, no, they're a really good company. They've supported me for a really long time. It'd be a good solid 5 years now that they've supported me. So yeah, no, it's been great.
That's the go, man. And you did Men's Up not long ago, man. How
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that?
Mandurah was awesome. That place never fails to hold up to its reputation. It's just something about Manjimup that gets me going. I just love that track. It feels like home. And there was actually some awesome racing this year. Obviously, having Jed, Kyle, Dean Wilson, Matt Moss. There was some big heavy hitters, and I was just some local kid on a 350 that just went out there and twisted the throttle and hung off it. But no, it was an awesome weekend.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's probably the event. I'd say that's probably the one that I'll go over to one year
Yeah,
to uh,
definitely.
to have a look at. Not to ride anything, that's for sure, but just to have
Yeah,
a look. Just not unless they have like an over 50 C grade class
yeah.
or
You just
D
need a
grade.
class that they do sight laps.
D grade class is what I need, not a C grade
Yeah,
class. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, sight laps. Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be the go, man. Yeah. Hey, what else do you do, man? So when you've got your downtime, you're done your training, all that sort of thing. What's your chill
Um,
time like?
Probably. I love my stand up jet skis.
Nice.
Um, I don't know. Probably. Oh, it was a while ago now. I started getting into stand up riding, and I feel like it's another form of riding, but it's so different from motocross. It gets you away from riding, but you're obviously still doing something with the engine. And man, it's so much fun. You get the same adrenaline rush that you do from riding a dirt bike. So obviously, I love doing that. And then I also like playing a little bit of golf. I feel like that it's a soothing sport. It's not a very physically demanding sport. So if I'm feeling sore, I'll go to the golf course and just walk along the course and loosen up for the next day of training.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Like I've never played golf in my life, but um, the amount of moto guys who are into golf, it's like all of them, everyone.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. There's a lot of them.
it's the polar opposite sport to moto, but I think
Yeah,
that's the appeal, like you're saying. It's
yeah,
just
definitely. I think it gets you away from riding. So I think that's why everybody loves it so much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll have to have a go at it one day, but yeah, the only time I've ever played it was I some sort of drunken setup where we were doing chip shots and drives or something on a Bucks night. That's the only
Yeah,
time I've ever done
yeah,
it. So, yeah, and all I was worrying about was breaking one of my mates' good clubs. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, he's like, hand it to me. Oh, this is carbon fiber and it's all this and all that, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to use it. I'm gonna break it.
Yeah, I'm a
But
bit like that. I'm not great at it, but I
yeah,
go alright some days.
yeah, yeah. Lots of mini golf with my kids. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
mini golf's always good fun with your friends. So
yeah, man. So my short game
yeah,
might be all right, but
yeah. Once you're on the greens, you'll be alright.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, who was your childhood heroes, man?
Um. Oh, to be honest, I was. It sounds funny now I'm racing him, but I always looked up to Kyle Webster. I always looked up to Regan Duffy. Obviously, he was another local WA
Yeah.
rider that had an unfortunate crash. But man, I had so many. I was always a Dungy fan. I think I still am. I was just listening to his podcast with Gypsy Tale the other day, and man, he's just such a cool dude, and he's very humble, which I love about him.
Mm. Yeah, man. He's yeah, Dunge. I think if anybody didn't like Dungy, there's fucking something wrong with him in there.
Yeah,
Like you said,
definitely.
he's got
Yeah,
to be one of the nicest guys ever. Like
yeah, for sure.
super nice man. You
Yeah,
mentioned Regan Duffy, man, I don't think his story's been told enough about
No,
what he really
definitely
went
not.
through. Like,
Yeah.
I get a little frustrated from time to time. Like, obviously, we haven't seen him about this year, but like last year when he was racing that sort of thing, there was a few things said, um, about his form and that sort of thing, and not being what he used to and all that. And I was kind of like, fuck, like this guy, like it's almost a fucking miracle that he's alive.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like
He doesn't get the credit that he
no
should.
man, like it's
Um,
it's
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 amazing that he's even on a bike.
yeah,
So
and then
for him to be racing last year was, yeah, it was really incredible.
and still he was still sneaking in like top tens in MX1 after what he'd been through. And like for those listening who aren't across his story, actually you mentioned Gypsy Tales. Regan's pod on Gypsy Tales is the best way to find out his
Yeah,
story,
definitely.
because Jace really got into it with him, and it was excellent, man. And like,
Yeah,
yeah, basically he had a bike land on him, and his one of his main arteries was
yeah, the
torn from
aorta.
the
Yeah,
aorta was torn from the body of his heart,
yeah,
laying on the track, like, and he
yeah. It's a
survived.
crazy story, that's for
Like
sure.
that doesn't,
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
incredible.
it was kind of one of the moments that you had to be there to really understand what he went through. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, if he did his interview with Jace there. I listened to that and I was just like I can't believe, you know, that this
yeah,
guy is back, and it was probably not much. Was it maybe even within a year or a year and a
yeah,
half?
yeah. It was
He was
very.
racing.
Yeah, I think it was a year and a half. Well, he was back even sooner than most people realized, but he actually had another injury and a wrist injury. So, and before that wrist injury, man, he was. I would say he was nearly back to his peak form. Even I trained with him when he was back racing, and him at training was unreal. Like his speed was truly coming back. I feel like he just couldn't put it together for the races, which was unfortunate because I really wanted him to show people that he's still got it and he's coming back. But yeah, no, it's a cool story.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Do you reckon he'll ever come back at it like full time and get right back into it, or?
I don't know about full time, but I know he loves riding.
Hmm.
I was riding with him when we were back home at his house. He's loving it. I think he's taken the pressure off his shoulders and he's just riding for fun now. And I think he's enjoying it probably more than ever.
Yeah, man. Because there'd be mental hurdles there, man, for like
100%.
basically a guy who's like died on the track and going
Yeah,
back to racing, like,
we
man,
did. Yeah,
it's the sort of shit that movies are made about,
yeah.
man.
It's a
And I
miracle
just
story, really.
it's a miracle, man. I got frustrated, like I'm in the media, but I'm not a reporter sort of
Yeah,
guy. I
yeah,
like to tell stories and bench race and talk about
yeah,
things like we're doing right now, rather than that the other part of the media. I leave that to the guys that are good at that. But yeah, I think he should have been given just more credit that how amazing it was. It's a similar thing.
definitely.
Who was the American guy who had he had a big problem with his heart and he came back to race
Yeah.
like 2 years ago?
Who is it?
Who was that?
Yeah,
And he's
I know
still
who you're
racing.
talking about.
I
Yeah,
forget. He had a really like a pretty major
it's like a
issue with his
major
heart.
heart surgery. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, open heart surgery, pretty big thing, and he was back racing super in no time, and that was sort of
Oh,
brushed over too. Sometimes I think
yeah.
these
I
things,
can't think of
like
who it was, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it'll come to me later on, and I'll be like,
yeah, yeah,
damn, yeah, yeah, cool,
yeah.
man,
There's definitely
cool.
some crazy stories in this sport. That's for sure.
It is, man. I was laughing. I was listening to a podcast on my way home today, and I was listening to Mental for Moto, which is another Aussie
Yeah,
podcast. Yeah,
yeah,
Pete, good bloke, Pete, and he was interviewing some Victorian kids about the latest round of the
yeah.
Vics.
Yeah.
and this little fella says, Pete asked me about a crash, and this little fella says, "Oh, I had just a minor lung puncture and something else," and I just laugh. It's like any
Yeah.
other sport, a kid
I
with a
think
lung
that's I
puncture
think that's
is
Heath Davies. I think that's the one, if
was
I'm
it? Yeah,
not
yeah.
mistaken. Yeah.
And it was like I'm laughing like, imagine any other sport and a kid's got a lung puncture. It was just
100%.
like,
They'd be out for the season, that's for sure.
and he's
But
like, "No, it was just a minor one." So it was all
yeah,
right.
yeah, this
Yeah,
sport's gnarly, man. It's
it's
gnarly.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it, man.
yeah,
Dude, with you going to the States, man, like you got put any thought into like, uh, building your brand, like it's a big thing for guys in the sport, especially in the States and that sort of thing about, how they market themselves and all that sort of thing, like you can, like you talking about, you raced Dean Wilson at Manjimup a little while ago, like he's the prime example, man, like of
yeah,
build a brand, AP, a lot of guys like
yeah,
your personality, man, like, you're a bit of a character, man.
yeah.
And
Definitely. I've always thought about starting a YouTube channel, doing something cool like that. But just never really had the time. I think I focus so much on getting
yeah,
results and getting my name out there first before I start doing that. So yeah,
yeah, man.
that's my goal at the moment, is just to win races.
Oh, absolutely, man. No, I think all the guys that do that, someone else is doing it.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah,
have someone else doing it.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
you can't spend time on that. You got to spend time on your body, man, to be at your
Yeah,
best. But yeah, the yeah, I think all those guys, whether it's their wives or their, man friends or whoever's following them around with a camera and doing all that sort
yeah,
of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I think it's important for young blokes, man, in the sport, and I reckon you could do really well out of that sort of stuff, man. Just because, yeah,
Yeah,
personality
definitely.
counts, man, in the sport. Like
100%.
there's riders
Yeah,
out there that unfortunately they're really very shy and don't put themselves out there, and it literally costs them money in the long term,
yeah,
man. So
100%. Yeah,
it it
definitely.
does, man. So yeah, I reckon, yeah, when you get over there, you keep that full on Aussie personality you got going, man, and you'll be doing well like that, man. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. That's the plan. That's the plan.
that's it, man. What's your most embarrassing crash, man?
Embarrassing. Oh, I don't think I can think of one, to be honest. I know. Obviously, I'm sure I've had a couple loop outs as a junior, but off the start line. But recently, I don't really know. Haven't had. I've tried taking out them silly mistakes out of my riding. So I think, yeah, I'd want to say like a loop out on a 65 or something like that.
Off the start, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
65's the wildest class, I reckon. Always 65's the
definitely.
peak. The peak of crazy is 65's. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
because 50's you'll get one or two kids that are insane,
Yeah,
but a lot of it's still a little cautious. But by the time it's the field of 65s, it's just
yeah.
out of control. And then by
They're
the
just
time they get
learning how to use the
85s,
clutch and stuff like that.
yeah, by the time they get
Yeah,
85s, they're starting to figure out just a little bit of smoothness. But
yeah,
65s is the best. It's like
yeah.
an
It is.
explosion
It's
of
an
just
entertaining class.
madness. Yeah,
Yeah,
I reckon it's the best. It always makes me laugh, man. I've helped ran and helped ran and all that a fair few off road races, and the I used to lead the juniors, the 65s out on their
yeah,
site lap for an off road race,
yeah,
man. And that's one of the funniest things, man, ever. Like, because they know they're not allowed to pass you, but
yeah. But they'll push
oh
it. They'll push
fuck,
it.
they want to pass you, and you'd be like,
Yeah,
there'd be like three under each elbow, and you can see all
yeah,
these different coloured guards just going burp, burp, burp
yeah.
underneath it,
It's
and
a
they
bit.
just
It
they
was a bit
so
like.
want to go past.
Yeah, it was a
And
bit like
but,
Manchima.
yeah,
We had a sweep rider, and it was all us pros like, man, what is this? We're pro riders and we're having to follow some dude that struggles to get around the track. But man, it was funny. Like he was going so slow for us, and he knew what he was doing. And like you'd have like the pros just pushing up a little bit, and we'd get him moving along a bit. But yeah, it was funny. That's for sure.
Really, they had a sweep rider for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big thing in WA. There's always a sweet rider. That's what I
Is
found.
it?
Coming over here was so weird. Like in practice, you straight out go as fast as you want. Just don't jump anything. In WA, you have to follow this dude who sits in first gear and just like rolls around the track, which is it's a bit lame, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I suppose it's just probably a tradition how they've done things over there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, I mean, we do it for most of the time for off road races, but yeah, but moto, nah, that's yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll have a certain club that does their
Yeah,
certain things,
yeah,
and some clubs and tracks have their own weird starting systems, and
yeah,
there's all different stuff like that. But that's all
yeah,
part of the part of the fun, though, isn't it, man?
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's it, man. That's it. Yeah, cool. Who's going over to the States with you, man? Like mum or dad or both or
We haven't fully planned it. Like right now, it's mum and dad are guaranteed to come over with me. I'm trying to get my mechanic to come over with me as well to help me work on bikes and stuff like that, just so I don't have to deal with that on race day. So nothing's been really finalised. These American trips are just kind of go with what we've got and just go with the flow. So yeah.
that's okay, man. What's the weirdest thing you found when your first trip to the States?
Um, I think I think I was really caught off by the food, how different all the food is, and just like my body felt different because of the different food. So obviously, I was so sick, probably the sickest I've ever been in my life when I first got over there. So I think I was damaged probably for the rest of the trip, but it was definitely the food that probably challenged me the most. It's just it's so different after living in Australia your whole life and going over there and it's completely different. So I think by the end we found like the spots that are most similar to Australian food. So I think for this time we've got that all sorted out.
Yeah, yeah. Did DB take you to Outback? He loves the Outback.
Outback. I think we went there once. I know we went to like this cheesecake place. We tried some of the fast foods like the In and Out and Starbucks and stuff like that. But to be honest, I don't really rate American food. I reckon Australian food's a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're a pro athlete, man. I'm an old guy that I mean, I try and keep fit for an old fella, but nothing compared to you guys. But yeah, I just let myself go when I was in the States.
Yeah,
I just let myself go. I ate all the fast food, tried
yeah,
all the beer. Like I just let
yeah,
myself go for a I was only wasn't there that long for it to. But yeah, but the first time when I remember I got home and you sleep off the jet lag and you're like a zombie for a couple of days. And then I went for a run and I was like, damn,
yeah,
I was like, felt like I was like sweating out,
yeah,
sweating out In and Out burgers. I was just
yeah,
like, damn.
definitely.
I was
Yeah,
like, it's like I had concrete shoes. It was not good.
yeah. I was a bit the
It,
same when I got back as well.
yeah, man. Yeah, yeah, it is. But I mean, I liked the food there. I thought it was good. But yeah, different. Like I said, for a pro athlete, man, it's different. But
Yeah,
it's funny, man. Like you hear the guys talk. I've heard like guys like AC and that talk about eating like Chick-fil-A and stuff like that, and it's
yeah,
like in the season and stuff. And I'm like, it's kind of blows me away that's the case. But
yeah. I'm a bit like
yeah.
that. Like I eat very well, but I'm a normal person. Like I can go have Subway or Zambreros, or I can have like I guess you'd call it fast food if I want. Like I don't take my food really serious. I also want to live like a normal person as well. So I feel like people get stuck in a bit of tunnel vision and think you just have to eat lettuce and all the good stuff your whole life. But there's always room for a little bit of a cheeky snack here and there.
That's the go. That's the go. Are you still going to be doing like Nathan Crawford's like training plan when you're in the
Over
States?
there,
You're just going to do his plan, via technology, or you?
yeah, I haven't really thought about it yet. Um, I'm pretty good with that. I know what I need to do, so I think we'll just play it by ear until we're over there.
You're pretty self motivated with your training and all that sort of stuff. Then,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Me and Mum have definitely got a workhorse relationship. She's always pushing me to be the best I can, so it's definitely good to have her. And yeah, I know what I need to do. So if I don't do what I need to do, that's on me.
yeah, man, cool, cool. All right, man. I have a few fun questions there that I'd like to ask towards the end of the show. Here we go. What do you laugh at, man, that you shouldn't laugh at? This is a bit of an Aussie thing, I think. There'll be something that it's wrong, but fuck, that's funny. Like
Oh,
what's your
yeah.
thing?
I don't know really. Mine's probably like as stupid as it sounds. I just get a good crack out of a good fart. Like if we're sitting somewhere quiet and somebody rips one, I can't help myself. I was always that kid in class that would try to sneak one out quietly and it wouldn't come out. I'd just burst into tears and get in trouble, get some lunchtime detention. But I've always been, it's just you have to have a laugh at everything.
Oh yeah, man. Like farts are yeah. Like for me growing up, man, like my old man, is like he was the best, man. So I just grew up, and he thought his own farts were funny, and I thought they were funny, and it was just a running thing in our crazy house, man. And
Yeah.
yeah, and now I'm the same. I'm not as good as him though, and I didn't get the I'm okay, but like he was exceptional, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
his younger days, man. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Me and Mum always get a good laugh. Good laugh.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. You're a real friendly sort of a guy, man. But what pushes your buttons? Like what? So either it could be on race day, or it could be just like anywhere in life. What pushes your buttons and gets
Oh,
you pissed off, man?
not much. I'm not very affected by a lot of things, but when people get, I guess, arrogant, I guess you'd call it. Like a lot of people would call me cocky. I'd probably put it as confidence, but I feel like when people, I think when people treat people like they're better than them and they mean more in this world, I feel like everybody should be treated the same. Doesn't matter what your circumstances are. I feel like as you'd hear in school, treat people like you want to be treated. So I think that definitely pushes my buttons when people don't do that.
Dude, I love that, man. Yeah, on the same page there, absolutely. And don't you see that growing up in motocross, man? Don't you see that? That's like
Yeah,
I
definitely.
always say, like, every pit's you're gonna have the clicky wankers that will only talk to each other, and if another kid starts beating them, then they'll talk to that kid.
Yeah,
But
definitely,
they won't talk to the new kid with his goggles on crooked and his bike runs like shit and he's having his first race, and they won't talk to him. And
definitely. Yeah,
then you get the cool kids that's fast who'll go and talk to that new kid and welcome him
yeah,
and give him
definitely.
advice and all that. That's the cool kid, not the
Yeah,
not the clicky
definitely.
bunch. I hate the clicky bunch,
Yeah,
man.
I agree. And the amount of people I talk to on the start line, I wouldn't have a clue who they are, but hey, they're standing there. They're doing the same race as I am, so we might as well have a chat about it.
Yeah, man. I always make a point when I go somewhere to walk to the very very back corner of the pits and say g'day to the very last you
Yeah.
know, it'll be a ute or a high ace van with a three rail trailer and a
Yeah.
dad and one kid or whatever. I'll go and talk to them. I'll make a point of doing it,
Yeah.
um,
Definitely. Yeah.
because I just, I reckon that they're just as cool as the guys in the KTM truck or the CDR
Definitely.
truck or
I
whatever, man.
100%. I think
Yeah.
they're putting in the same amount of effort as all of us. So what's different?
Yeah, man, and they have a cool story. Like I always say on this show, I love people's stories, man, and they have an awesome
Yeah.
story like
They
that.
always have. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, man, and a lot of the time, some of those battler types have a better story. Like
Yeah.
they're
100%.
really interesting people. If I
Yeah.
always sort of
Definitely.
live by to not. I try and live by to not like judge anyone.
Yeah, me too.
And
I'm a bit the same. I have a chat. Oh, where you? Oh, just drove like 48 hours to get here. I'm like, man, that's an effort. Like, I really start to appreciate me being able to fly and the luxury life I live. So it's definitely cool to speak to people like that and be like, man, the effort they go to get to the races is unreal.
it is, man. Yeah, it's really cool. That's what keeps things ticking along, man. There's only so many paid rides, factory seats, all that sort of thing.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, definitely.
both here and in the States, man.
Yeah, well, everybody has to come from the bottom. So
Yeah,
I don't think you should judge people for where they are and where they come from.
yeah. I remember saying to one of my American mates, um, we're actually, I don't know how the conversation come up, but we're actually walking out of Anaheim last year, and we were talking about this very subject, and I said, look, man, I would talk to your president the exact same way as I'm talking to you now,
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
would talk to a homeless guy exactly the same way as I'm talking to you now. Like I
Definitely.
don't give a
Yeah.
fuck, like
Yeah.
So that's just how I roll, and it's a good way to be, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on your bucket list, man? So
Bucket
maybe
list.
a moto one and a non-moto one.
Um, Moto one is definitely a bucket list would definitely be to win the AMA Outdoor Supercross SMX. Like I wanna show people that I am the best and there is nobody better than me. So that's probably my bucket list for motocross wise. And I just my bucket list for life is to be a person that I look back on and be proud of. I feel like when you're in this sport and you're at the top of it, I think you kind of lose your vision of being a good person. You can get sucked into a hole, but I feel like I want to be the type of person that is a good influence for my kids in the future and just a good person all around that anybody can come up to and speak to.
I like it, man. That's a good answer, man. Yeah, very good, man. You're a good dude. That's it, man. Music. What sort of music are you into, man?
Um, you'd probably think I'm like some rock dude, but I'm really into my country music. I love my country music, but sometimes it calls for some white girl music, a bit of Katy Perry, Beyonce. You know, when you want to lighten the mood, you got to get it going. So I'm a bit of everything. I was just always a kid that grew up listening to the radio, so whatever was on that, I kind of enjoyed. But definitely now that I'm getting a bit older, I really love my country music.
I'm not surprised you like country, man. I would have nearly picked you for a country guy. That would have been probably, yeah. Would have picked out that, yeah.
Yeah,
That's it, man. And yeah, you got, yeah, everybody's got their few that are what's the word, your guilty pleasures in music, where it's those ones you're a bit embarrassed that you like, like
yeah,
I've got there, man. Kelly Clarkson, Leanne Rhymes. That's probably a
yeah,
couple of mine that I dig on, So
yeah, yeah,
and,
definitely.
and hey,
There's
they're a
always
bit
a time
they're
that
not
calls
my
for
not
it.
my usual, but I like them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you got to
Yeah,
admit it and embrace
yeah, exactly. Embrace
those
it.
sort of things. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Very good, man. Cool, man. I reckon we've kept you nearly an hour, man. Um, But I better do an ad read, man. So I reckon you're running a gut seat on that KTM that you're running
Yeah,
here in Australia.
I sure am gripped in and ready to go.
That's it, man. So Guts Racing is our sponsor here. Gutsracing.com is the website. That's a really easy one to remember. Gutsracing.com. So in Australia here we've got the KTM team. So we've got Kayden Minear and Nathan Crawford out there just killing it on their gut seats. Over
Yeah,
in the States, we've got the Club MX team.
there we are. Look at that.
Look at that. Guts is on
Yeah,
the shirt. There you
yeah,
go. Um, the Hep Suzuki, Next Level KTM, Phoenix Honda, Moto Concepts Honda, AEO KTM, PRMX, Kawasaki team. So your guy, our guy Aaron Tanti, he's up there in Canada
yeah.
on a gut seat on his Cowie. You can get obviously you can get seat covers from Guts. You can also get complete seats. You can get custom seats with the seat bump. You can get the RJ wide wing seat. We had RJ on here a couple episodes back telling us about that. You can get the ultralight seat foam, huge range of colors, tall seats. You can get a Velcro fitment seat if you don't want to tackle the job with the staple gun. And speaking of fitment, when you get your gut seat, it comes with a QR code that will take you to a video, and you'll probably see Andy Gregg himself there telling you how to install that seat cover. So that is pretty cool. As privateer hero Scott Meshy says, they're a butt gripper and they'll make you a ripper. You get around it. Gutsracing.com is the site. I'll say that again. It's real easy to remember. Gutsracing.com. Cool, man. A lot of gut seats getting around the Aussie pits, hey? And I
Yeah,
know that
definitely.
there is I haven't been given the nod to say anything just yet, but there is a new supplier of guts seats in Australia coming out with some cool stuff soon. That's about all I can say at this
Yeah,
stage.
that's awesome. I
They
love
should
them
have.
seats. They really are good.
They are, man. They
Yeah,
are. So yeah. So stay tuned for that. I'll for the Aussie people who love gut seats. I've got some information coming on a new supplier. But yeah, you get around the Aussie pits, man, and those seats are everywhere. So yeah,
yeah,
that's the go, man.
yeah,
Cool. Dude, a couple of things I do to end the show, man.
yeah.
First one is I usually ask the US guys to do an Aussie accent. And when I have an Aussies on, I usually just skip that bit. But I figure as soon as you're going to the US, man, give us a US accent.
Oh, I don't even know how to do that. What would I say? Welcome to America, y'all. That's probably all I've got.
Hey, there you go. Hey, that's
Pretty good
it.
at it. There's a reason I'm Aussie.
That's it, man. Yeah, no, you definitely sound Aussie a bit like myself. You know, some Aussies have an extra strong Aussie accent. I think we're two of them, you know. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
that's for sure, man. And
Yeah.
dude, the last thing I do on the show, man, speaking of country music, man, is I sing a bit of Kenny Rogers for the outro for the show, man. And I always say, if you know the words, man, you're more than welcome to join into a verse and the chorus out of Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, man. So I'll just slide into a bit of that, man. And yeah, you're welcome to
Alrighty.
join. Welcome to join in, man. So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. And the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, if you're going to play the game, boy, you got to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Kayden Minear, thank you very much, man, for joining the show. It's
Thanks
been
for
good
having
fun.
me.
Been good fun chatting to you, man.
Definitely.
I will get to an Aussie round, another Aussie round this year, and I'll try and say good day. It's hard sometimes. You guys are always you guys are flat out on those days, but
Yeah,
yeah, if I get a
definitely.
chance, I'll say good day.
For sure.
And yeah, man, good luck. You're sitting fourth in the championship, man, and that second, third, and fourth is all real close. So
Yeah, very close. Yep.
championship podiums are right in sight. Old Brody's sort of stretched out that lead pretty well, but you never know. Anything can happen, man.
Definitely. Hopefully we
He,
can pull him back in these last couple of rounds.
he could have a mechanical or anything can happen, man. So yeah, you're right there in the mix, and probably
Yeah, definitely.
coming to some pretty good tracks for you, probably too, man.
Yeah, definitely some I've rode. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good luck with the Aussies, and good luck. I'll be following your trip and all that to the US, and that I'll be following that closely. And best
Sweet
of luck
as.
with that. That'll be it's
Thank you.
awesome, man. I love it. I love the young Aussie chasing his dreams, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Cheers, man. Bye.